Hello and welcome once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 127 for July 20th, 2014. My name's Tony. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Jason and Massies. Howdy one and all.
Yo!
Let's jump right into it. Let's kick the show off with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
Nice! How's those memes coming?
I did meme, actually.
We talked about maiming last week.
I know. I maimed another game.
See, I told you, once you dip the toe in, you're in. Now, which was it, 1942,
downward spiral.
1943, or Sky Shark?
No. Those games are available in the arcade, and I play them there. But like I said last week, we are in the midst of a competition with other websites and arcades, and there are 20 games. And
Ghost has 11, roughly.
Yeah, something like that. And I played Anteater last week. Now I'm playing Bubbles. And it's a game where the game takes place in a drain, and you're a bubble.
No wonder the ghost doesn't have it.
No, it's a real fun game. You have to like run around the thing and get little like garbage. Like you're cleaning the drain.
So are you a scrubbing bubble?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
And every time you get like a piece of garbage or there's like ants that crawl, your bubble gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And once it gets to a certain size, it develops a smiley face. And then you can start touching other things without dying. And then like later on in the levels, they get roaches start appearing.
Oh, God.
And they look disgusting.
Yeah.
And then there's these little women that doesn't make sense. It's in a drain with brooms, and they clean the dirt as well. But you don't want them to clean because then that takes away from you being able to clean, and your bubble doesn't get big enough.
So how do you defeat the women with the brooms?
Oh, they're points. You just get them. You just walk into them or slide into them. But if you hit their broom, you get to steal their broom, and then you can use the broom to kill the roaches, and you get bonus points.
Sweet.
So I've been playing Bubbles.
Is that with a Z?
No, I think it's just Bubbles.
So what you're saying is you're spiraling further down the drain of maiming.
It's true. It's true.
I don't think it spirals down a drain. That'd be a weird drain. It's like a T.
Well, normally it would, the term spiraling is from toiletries.
Yeah.
You're not actually talking about down the drain.
Yeah. You ever, like, fill up your sink and then as it's running down, you just swirl your finger and
So
get it
I
to...
also played Oracle of Ages, continuing my efforts to train for the Zelda Under Marathon.
And when is that?
Next Saturday. Next Saturday, starting in the AM.
Mm-hmm.
We don't exactly have an exact start date.
And
Check out Zelda Dungeons.
Since we had discussed it with you, we can go ahead and let everybody know here. We are going to be doing, which we hinted at last week, Forward Compatible is going to be podcasting live from the Zelda Dungeon Marathon next Sunday afternoon. We'll post up what time and everything closer to the event so that everybody knows.
Yeah.
I have played my choice for Game of the Year this week.
Bubbles?
No.
Bubbles.
No.
Bubbles 2.
I promised Tony that I would do
The
it.
Sudsy sequel.
And I finished it at about 3:05 a.m. last Sunday. And that is The Wolf Among Us.
Excellent. Excellent
Yes.
choice, sir.
I did notice I had a really I won't get into the story too much because we're hoping to do a future episode dedicated to The Wolf Among Us. But I'll talk about just some of my gameplay experience with it. When I started Chapter 2, no cigarettes loaded in my game. So Bigby is sitting there and he's smoking, and there's nothing in his hand. Then he puts it out, and there's nothing in his hand. Weirdest glitch I've ever seen. I'm like, is there a
Smoke appearing still?
Yes, like he's blowing smoke. The smoke's coming off. There's no cigarettes. I thought it was all right. I gave it a second, and then another person smoking, and there's no cigarettes. So I'm like, is there a setting to like turn smoking off or something? So I exit out, I reboot up the game, the cigarettes are back, and, with exception of the standard Telltale issues.
It looks like your system wants to have a heart attack.
The only other thing that annoyed me is that the chapter would start, you'd play about 5-10 minutes of the story, then it would play the introduction.
Yeah.
The problem I have with that, though, is like I couldn't skip the introduction.
You also got to keep in mind you marathon them.
No, I understand.
Normal people we played them months
I
ago,
know.
so it's
But-
not that big of a deal to have that little cutscene of a.
I just kind of hope they're, push A, skip it,
Yeah.
get on with it. That's the only other gripe. But honestly, it's up there in top contention for me for Game of the Year, just based on the story.
I don't know if it can even count. Like 3 of the episodes came out last year.
It finished this year.
Huh.
I will fight tooth and nail and claw
It would have to be this year.
for Wolf Among Us.
Because you can't argue that it's a 2013 Game of the Year.
I suppose not.
That's weird. This stuff is like throwing a wrench at this Game of the Year system. Might be just disqualified altogether.
No.
I think that's a fantabulous idea.
I will stab you in the eye with my electric cigarette.
Do it.
So
I'm
what have you
scared.
been playing?
Myself, what did I do this week? I've been playing.
Yourself?
Yes, quite often. No, Miramasa Rebirth on Vita. It's like this samurai side-scrolling action game where it's just a button masher and you just beat the living crap out of stuff.
Is that one that looks like very primitive looking? You're like a
No, this one's got really cool graphics.
garbage game that is.
And Dive Kick, you're thinking of maybe?
I don't know. The guy goes like super fast. Like they're like almost like stick figure swordmen.
No, this is really pretty graphics.
This music is killing me.
It's a sweet little Vita game, and I'm still playing more Wolfenstein. Love that game.
Wow. We usually have video game ADD. I'm surprised.
I'm playing the same games. I'm just not playing as often.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, by this time, normally that would have kind of been passed over for something else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's not much on the horizon. I'm not too worried about it. A lot of PlayStation Plus I want to catch up. That's why I'm kind of savoring Wolfenstein. Nothing that I care about disc-wise is launching until the Halo collection.
Don't lie. You're going to pick up Madden.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got like 3-4 months of nothingness, and, so I'll pretty much be sticking to games with gold and PlayStation Plus free
How's
games.
Valiant Hearts coming along?
I haven't bought it yet. I'll probably grab it this week.
Andrew.
Okay.
Is that it for you for the week, then?
That's it. I barely played, man. I had a busy week.
Yeah. All right. Time for some half-assed news.
Dirty, sexy, news.
Half-assed news.
Half-ass news.
All right. So we're
Yeah, here, we could let everybody know. So we were under the impression Mark was coming with his news up until a little before the show started. So then it was a mad scramble for news. So here's
hence the half-assed news.
half-ass news.
I like the name. Actually. We should keep that.
We're gonna kick it off this week talking about a major video game reveal that happened this week, along with some gameplay footage. It's a microphone there, and it's got a little bit to do with Wolfenstein.
Okay.
We're talking about Doom,
Doomskis.
aka Doom 4.
Yeah.
When did Doom 3 come out?
Oh, jeez.
Was that the last
10 years ago? No, there was Resurrection of Evil in between them.
There was that sweet little collection that came out like 2 years ago. Like
BFG. edition.
BFG. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Which was the collection of Doom 3 and Resurrection of Evil. I have not seen any footage that was supposedly shown for Doom. I did read some interesting tidbits about it, though.
I kind of wish Machine Games would make it because they did such a great job with Wolfenstein, but I know they just finished and Doom's been in development longer than that. But
Well, Doom was, and then Doom was thrown away and started over.
oh, so we don't know. Do we even know who's making it yet?
It's ID, but I don't know what.
Well,
team
it's
they have.
it's the publisher.
Oh. Good question. I don't have that. But anyways, from all accounts, it's a return to traditional Doom, which is run and gun, blood and gore, not so much of the puzzle solving. Any thoughts? Any expectations that you'd like them to have? For
I think it's gonna be pretty crappy.
Doom? Yeah.
That's like a dead franchise.
One can argue that Wolfenstein was at one point, though, too.
You know, the last Wolfenstein was awesome too. The one that came out at the beginning of this generation.
But Wolfenstein has always been like a tier 2 first-person shooter, though. Like it's never been one of the big players.
Except for when it started, the whole first-person genre and the sequel.
Okay. In the last 10 years.
There was only one of them, and it was a good game.
It hasn't been relevant since the 90s. When did the first one come out?
This fucking
90s.
70 something, 80. What is it? 84.
Are we
85?
talking about Wolfenstein or the first 3D Wolfenstein first-person shooter?
Yes.
Early 90s.
Yes.
Early 90s.
Which one?
Are you still looking forward to you can at least give the beta a try?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I love Doom. We'll see how it works out. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't think I'm going to be. I think it's going to be a very generic, boring shooter in the light of Rage, how Rage was, where it was like really pretty, really fucking boring, really generic.
See, now my thought process is with how well that they've revitalized Wolfenstein.
But they didn't. Machine Games did.
I know, but I'm just in terms of returning it to the core franchise. No multiplayer, none of that other BS. Single player game, the way that it's meant to be. I'm holding out some hope that Doom will do well. Any thoughts on Doom, Moss?
I didn't like the movie.
But The Rock was in it.
No, it's not my cup of tea.
No. Speaking of Moss's cup of tea, this might be because this is in the Nintendo wheelhouse. What? Hey, at least I know how to segue.
I'm just saying, I love how it's like, well, it's on Nintendo, so Moss obviously has to love it.
No, I just said he might know something about it. This past week, there were some new Smash Brother images revealed, and one just so happened to be one of
Nathan Drake coming to Smash Brothers.
Well,
Woo!
We can file that into the list of things that will never happen.
one of Tony's favorite platform characters, correct? I can correct.
One of them,
Yeah,
probably
one of many.
top 10, yeah.
Was revealed as a trophy in Smash Brothers, and that was Rayman. Moss?
Well, Rayman has sort of found new life, I think, a little bit on Nintendo consoles. Because, I mean, Rayman was kind of dead. Like, he was a PS1, big on the PlayStation 1. I don't even remember what happened to it. Did Rayman even have a successful run on the PS2?
I think it was very much like Tomb Raider. There was games, but they just weren't.
They were even still coming out into this generation, but they weren't disc based. They were download titles.
No, they came out this generation for sure. With the Wii, they brought Raving Rabbids or whatever.
Yeah.
It was sort of like a side series, but it did well to warrant an entire spin-off series. And then they also brought. Then they basically went back to the roots a little bit with Rayman Origins. And then Rayman Legends, most recently, was originally a Nintendo exclusive that got ported over to everything.
Which one of those two was it that had the cool little musical things where you're collecting the coins or the notes or whatever, and it's playing the songs as you collect them?
Rayman Legends had that. I don't know if Origins had
that. I wasn't sure. That's the only part that I played. Our friend Matt handed me his Vita, and he's like, try this level. And it was playing, I want to say, like Bohemian Rhapsody or something obscure like that, which was kind of cool. So, Rayman as a trophy in Smash Brothers. Any Do we want to let loose any speculation or rumor?
Why
do we think he's there?
I was looking at the story just a few minutes ago, and I mean, there's no way they're going to have him as a trophy and not a character. It seems so odd.
Mm-hmm.
But it also seems so odd that they waited this long to reveal. I mean, the game's coming out in 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, Rayman's kind of a big deal. I would almost say Rayman would be a bigger deal being in the game than Pac-Man.
Well, I don't know about that.
Pac-Man's got nostalgia,
No.
but as a current relevant character,
I think they were going with the Pac-Man. They were looking at the late 80s, early 90s time frame when it was you can play a 4-player game with Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, and Pac-Man.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I'm looking at it as, like, do kids nowadays know who Pac-Man is, you know?
More kids know Pac-Man than Rayman,
Really?
I'd say.
Mm.
Rayman is not a big character. He's like a tier 2. Well, I mean, I'd argue.
Ross's word of the day, tier 2.
I'd argue
You're a B-plus player.
Rayman Legends is one of the best 2D side-scrollers, like, in the last several years. But it's still not, I don't know, it's weird. I don't think it's considered a premium game. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Okay. Tony.
Well, I mean, I know what you're saying because, like, even their titles, they don't really sell, or maybe they did. Did they come out at full $60?
Rayman Origins.
I could have swore
One
they
of
were
them
40.
did,
weren't
and
they?
then dropped to 40, like, immediately.
Yeah,
And then it sold.
Rayman Origins came out just before Black Friday,
Yeah.
and
On Black Friday, then it dropped to, like, the $40 price point. And never went back
it
up.
might have been a week before Black Friday
Yeah.
it came out, and then it was on sale for $30 on Black Friday. So
They're coming for you, Tony.
I believe Rayman Legends was a full $60 game though.
Okay.
But I mean, Rayman Origins was on the Wii. It was on PS3, 360. I think it was on Vita, and I think there's a 3DS version too. I think.
I don't know about the 3DS one.
So,
Okay.
But I mean, it's been on. It's on
So
all
let's
the consoles.
speculate that Rayman is in fact going to be a playable character in Smash Brothers. What do you think his smash attacks?
Slappy hands.
Slappy hands.
Yeah, he doesn't have limbs, right?
Ooh,
Or he has,
what if
No.
Rayman is Master Hand?
I don't know.
How fanboys everywhere would,
Yeah,
because
because
it's the disembodied big white hands.
No.
Smash Brothers is canonical.
Just saying. It's either that or it's Mickey Mouse, but I think he's missing a finger. Mickey Mouse has only got 4. Only got 4.
Oops.
Anything else to say about Rayman?
No.
I'm cool. I think he's like I remember a few months ago. I think we did a show where we were like, what random old characters would we like to see?
Yeah.
I mean, Rayman is still sort of modern, but I think he's somebody I didn't think of that now that it's after the fact, I realize that he's
really
a good
sense.
fit.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
a great fit for a third-party character that.
It's better than Solid Snake.
Sounds like sort of an oddball when you look at it because he's humanized a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
You don't see those characters in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Smashy Brothers.
This next news story will make Tony a little happy.
Happy and Pants.
Google, they came out and said that any game which features in-app purchases can no longer be called free. Isn't that a big debate that we had a while ago about the freemiums and things like that, and how they were misleading people?
What is it? What are they going to be called now?
They have to be called like regular games. You can't label. Basically, what they're saying is when you go on the Google Play Store, if the game features in-app purchases, it can no longer be listed as under the free category.
That's going to drastically reduce the number of games that are listed under free.
Yeah. I mean, was always more concerned about what happens. I'm like more interested in a whole different side of it, like.
Okay. Let's discuss it a little.
Well, the development and like how, I'm more worried that talented developers were leaving AAA and even AA studios to and shutting down long-running franchises that I like, because I'm still of the belief, like, I like to pay $60, get a full game, and, like, I understand that, and it's like, it's the way I want to do it when I play video games. I don't like the whole, here, download, the overworld, and then, like, a character or two, and then we're going to keep stopping you every few minutes to asking you for $5, or you have to grind this out for 100 hours to progress. That kind of stuff, to me, takes away from what you're trying to do when you escape in a video game. You're trying to it de-immerses. That's not even going to be a word. It takes you out of the immersion. I'll go around it that way. Like where, like when I'm really wrapped up into a great story on a game, like the last thing I want is this little thingy popping up. That's like my number one complaint with A Link Between Worlds. It's one of my favorite Zeldas they ever made, but I can't tell you how tired I got of every whatever
Save
30 minutes being like, you've been playing a really long time. You should stop. And it's just like why can't you set that kind of stuff up? But that's the kind of
makes you feel bad.
the breaking immersion.
Well, you tell me how long I've been playing.
I played that. I know, but I played that game.
Mother.
I played that game in like 3 or 4 sittings. I sat there. I'd play until the battery died. I'd recharge it. Then later on that day or the next day, I'd play until the battery died. And it took me like a few days to beat it. That's twice already.
Come on, man.
But
We're going old school. Tony's bumping the mic.
The same thing. I like when I'm playing any modern day awesome story. The last thing I want to see is little crap like that. I don't know. Breaks immersion. And it's like now Cliffy B's doing it too. Like who knows how Gears of War is going to turn out, because he left because he had to go try this free to play crap, and that's what's bugging me. It's not that they're called free. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. I'm worried about other stuff.
Going back to the discussion in particular that we had referring to this, it brought up like Candy Crush and Farmville and crap like that, where
That's one end of this free spectrum, though.
Yeah.
The other end is League of Legends, which is like the most popular game, or one of the most popular games.
But that's not really free to play because you have to pay for time or whatever. You have to buy those like $10 or $20 cards.
No, they're not time cards.
League of Legends is 100% free to play.
It's free. You buy those cards to purchase new characters and new skins and things like that.
Oh, is that what that crap is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like...
I sell a lot of those cards. That's why.
That shit's like crap.
League of Legends is like the #1 multiplayer game out right
It's
now.
the biggest game in the world.
So, and that's free. Like, that's one end of the spectrum. Then, like...
But now if that was listed on the Google Play Store, it would not be listed as free anymore, because it supports in-app purchases.
See,
Good move.
That's the gist of it. I'm glad that they can't sucker people into assuming a game is quote unquote free and then barrage them with in-app purchases. Now there's a set in stone writing that says if you are going to ask people for money in your game, you are no longer free to play.
It's really like, I don't know if it's completely fair to just like group all games that have any in-app purchases as all of one. Like, I mean, there are some games that just throw it at you right away. Like, buy this. They come with like
Candy Crush, Farmville,
not pay to play, but pay to win.
Yeah.
Pay to win. That's the term. And then there's another game that maybe they have one like I don't know. Maybe it's an adventure game. You have one DLC purchase.
I think
gives
this
you a
is
new costume or something.
I think this is specifically referring to the app stores for mobile markets.
Okay, yeah.
So it's more along, like, I get what you're saying. Like, if I'm playing DC Universe Online, which is a free-to-play MMO, supported by an online store and in-app purchases, but you're not required. But this is referring to things like Candy Crush and all those little dinky games that. Oh, hey, you want to buy 5 lives? It's $20.
Those things are designed in such a different way, too.
Yeah.
It's because I don't think you play any of that crap.
Way, but some of them are not designed that way, but then they're like, after the fact that maybe they have, like a game with DLC, paid DLC, does that count as, like if it was a free to download, but there's paid DLC?
That's a good question.
Like that's...
Google, let us know.
Yeah, Google, please comment.
Yeah,
below.
comment Google.
You own YouTube, so
Yeah, so you could, obviously you're going to read
you
this.
clearly have a Google Plus account.
Yeah, it's true.
More half-assed news.
Half-ass news.
Half-ass.
Destiny beta went live.
The betas.
It's available until July 27th, my birthday, on the PlayStation 4. On top of that, they went in and they took out one of the greatest memes to come out of Destiny. The wizard is from the moon. Peter Dinklage. They changed his dialogue.
I think they should have just left it in just to say fuck you to everybody.
Especially since Bungie started selling the shirt that said the wizard is from the moon. They should have left it in. I hope that's like a trophy name.
That will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't completely take it.
Tony, have you had a chance to play Destiny in any way, shape, or form yet?
Yeah. Played a little bit of the alpha.
Okay.
Seems like a lot of fun. Played it for 10, 15 minutes because I don't really care about alphas and betas. I'm going to get the game. So I'll be playing it in the fall when it's finished and looks like it's supposed to, and all that.
I've got the beta. I haven't sat down with the. I played alpha. I want to at least try the beta to see what they've kind of changed. I mean, because it's a month, right? E3 was a little over a month ago.
This is such old code in this beta, though, dude. They were even saying that it's like on the beta it's running at 900 on Xbox, but the game's 1080 because this was before. This code is so old. It was before Microsoft announced that they were gonna allow you to use more power because they were dropping Kinect support. When was that? Like 6 weeks ago? 5 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So the code is older than that, and they're just about to release it.
That seems pretty recent.
Yeah. I mean, that's
2 months.
why are they beta testing old code then?
It makes no because they're just giving the beta away.
Destiny.
And anyway, I think I'm gonna pick this up.
Yeah.
Destiny?
Yeah. I think I'm probably gonna buy the bundle.
With the white PS4.
I think so.
Well, you're gonna get it for a little big plan anyway, right?
Yeah. Well,
When Plus gives it away for free.
I'm hoping it's a $400 bundle. I don't know if it's gonna be. You think it? That's what I'm hoping for.
The PS4s are selling too well still.
Yeah.
They might cut you a break, maybe like a $440 bundle, like you get $20 off or something,
$450 with a year of PS Plus. You think?
Oh,
or something like that. Maybe.
Let's we keep doing that. Let's stop that now. Sony is not giving away a year of PlayStation.
Yeah, 3
Plus for
months.
anything.
3 months of PlayStation Plus.
They're not even going to give you that. They're going to give you a week trial. 1 week trial.
What did the launch? The launch.
1 week
system-
trial.
No, they've
thought
given
they had a
month.
month.
They've given a month before. No,
They did.
the system was a
before.
1 week trial.
Yeah, but now they're down to
That's not
1 week trials because they know that it works, and now they've got you by the balls because if you want to play online, you have to have it.
Yeah.
As soon as you see PlayStation Plus, you're not going to stop. It's
Well, I'm
It's
not
too
the kind of
good.
guy that's going to play the games that they give away.
Doesn't
I
matter.
just
You're
wanna
still
play
you're
online.
gonna still feel inclined. I don't play 99% of the stuff that they give me, but you still feel inclined
Yeah.
to download it
Yeah, that's true.
and have it
Download
just
it,
in case.
and like friends come over, and be like, hey, play this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except Tony.
I don't
He doesn't
even play
have any
online
friends.
games, but this is like the exception.
Yeah.
Like I played Halo 4 online for like the
Couple
entire
months.
time it was relevant.
Yeah. So,
After about 2.5 weeks, I hope. Well, this is Bungie, not the like Halo 4. They totally messed up the competitive scene at the beginning because like they didn't even have a ranking system, to my understanding. Like when the game launched, like a competitive ranking system, like a classic Halo leveling system. They just had the EXP, right?
yeah.
Right.
I mean, you had levels.
No, that came in months after, because they wanted to make sure it was competitively balanced before. Isn't that what they did with Halo 4?
I don't remember.
I'm
I don't
right.
remember. I don't remember
I
this
might not
well.
be saying it right, but I'm right. But this is Bungie, so hopefully they get their shit together.
Hopefully, it's not a tier 2 game.
No, this is tier 1. This is top tier. God tier.
And our last half-assed news story of the week:
More half-ass news.
News ass half.
ESPN 2
The Ocho.
is airing the DOTA 2014 preview show.
Dota?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
This is actually kind of a big deal.
That's kind of where I wanted to go with it. It's like, does this mean that professional competitive gaming has now, is grown to the point where networks like ESPN are going to recognize it as a viable option and actually showcase this. Obviously, you can watch EVO and tournaments and stuff via Twitch, which is a huge outlet for it. But what about like mainstream cable companies? What are your thoughts, especially with it being a sports channel?
I'm thinking that Twitch is bigger. I mean, like if they showed this on ESPN, I don't know if that's actually gonna. I don't really know.
Isn't Justin TV really big?
That is Twitch.
Twitch is the gaming hub of Justin TV.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But
I would
Twitch
argue that
so
Twitch.
big.
I would argue that Twitch has surpassed Justin TV.
Okay.
Even though it's underneath it, but it's
Yeah.
Okay, all right. This is good and bad. I'll start with the bad. You're utilizing ESPN as the example, which most sports fans don't really recognize as anything. They're huge sellouts. They're like they have to get fed into, or they don't broadcast certain things, and they force certain things down your throat that people don't necessarily care about because people paid for it.
Like bull racing or rodeo.
I'm talking more like
I'd watch some bull racing.
more like the NBA.
Okay.
like ESPN doesn't.
They neglect sports.
They don't even show hockey
because the NHL didn't pay them.
Yeah.
This is like a big debate a few years back.
But look, ESPN has turned into a football network. Really, I mean, it's like they have like.
When it's the NFL's on, it's NFL 23 hours a day.
But they have on the main ESPN, not ESPN2. They have NFL Live every single day of the year. Every single day of the year. In the middle of March,
as a quick
Live
side note that I didn't feel worthy of the news, but since you brought it up, NFL Sunday Ticket is coming to Xbox One this fall
and PS4.
So it's weird that they're sorry, but they're like pushing away. It's weird that they're fitting this into the lineup. Then again, ESPN does show, like, I remember like 5-6 years ago, there would be like 4 or 5 hour segments of the World Series of poker, and then they used to show like billiards.
So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to get at. Is this like?
Well, ESPN was a lot better back in the day. They used to show like F1 kart racing from Europe, and they used to show all this crazy rugby
ESPN
and cool stuff like that. And
it to carry pro wrestling.
Yeah,
in the day too.
and now it's essentially this watered down crap. I mean, you go there for highlights, but I don't think too many hardcore sports people take it seriously. And ESPN2 is even more of a joke.
Okay.
It's not.
That's the crap that they don't put on the big network.
Yeah.
So
I think it's more. I don't think it's their fault. It's like I'm a big baseball fan. I don't watch ESPN. I watch the Major League Baseball Network because they have the games on every day, and they have their
way more in depth.
Yeah, and it's
better analysis.
I don't have to wait for Baseball Tonight, I believe.
At the 6 p.m. block,
1 hour segment, whereas they have Baseball Tonight from 4 p.m. till midnight every single day.
Even football though, I think what is it? Channel 12, Fox has far better NFL analysis on game day than ESPN does. I'm not talking about the couple idiots that talk before the game. I'm talking about like hours before and during breaks.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like
Bradshaw. And
no. Yeah, no. They're okay. They're entertaining, but yeah. I'm talking the analysis that actually happens. I think it's far superior than what ESPN shows. ESPN's just that one dude yell, whoop! That's all. That one dude.
Berman?
Can't think of, yeah.
What does he do?
Whoop! 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 When somebody makes a crazy move, whoop! That's all. He's an idiot.
Don't act like you don't like that.
It's fucking annoying. Don't act like you don't like.
He's a legend.
But
okay, anyway.
You brought really.
Yeah, we're way off topic.
Yeah, you brought
ESPN's not that serious of.
That's fine, but he brought up a point, and when he mentioned the World Series of Poker, that kind of blew up 5-6 years ago, and kind of took over.
Like 11 years ago, but yeah.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. Do we see competitive gaming kind of going in that direction?
Well, ESPN doesn't have that pull like it did before because the internet, like, it's not as relevant anymore.
Okay.
Like I was just saying, people don't go to ESPN to get all their stuff because all these channels have their own. They have their own channels, their own networks. But plus, on the internet, you get them streaming everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoop.
It's a good step, though. It shows how it. ESPN is clearly seeing how much Twitch has blown up to warrant that it should show this, dedicate at least an hour or whatever.
Fair enough. And that'll conclude our half-assed news for this week.
Whoop!
It was like 3/4 ass news.
Yeah, it ended up turning out to be 7/8 ass news.
Yeah. We had like the whole ass except the whole.
That's the best part.
See, it wasn't the whole news. That's what I tell you. Okay.
I got it. I got it. It's a play on words, sir. I get it.
Yeah.
That'll bring us to Tony's topic of the week. Late kick edition.
I think we're going to change the name of your segment.
Nope.
To News Nibbles.
News nibbles.
News nibbles.
So this week we had nice. We had
Sounds so much like news nipples.
Microsoft. It does laying off 14% news nipples of their workforce.
Roughly 18,000 people.
Peoples.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Microsoft came out afterwards, of course, and they started addressing this, and they said they're going to help people try to find new jobs, and it was going to come out slowly. They're going to give people warnings and all this crap, and then boom, 2 days later, whoop whoop, 2 days later, they shut down. What was it called?
Xbox Entertainment Studio.
Yeah. Now, a majority of these 14,000 jobs are coming from the
14,000, 14%.
14% are coming from the recently acquired Nokia division. If you guys remember, they bought them a few years ago for like a few $1 billion. I don't remember exactly how much. And essentially, I think they were it was a technology takeover. They weren't interested in the people working there or anything except for the tech.
On that point, really quick, they said that their goal was to, from day one when they bought Nokia, was to integrate it into Microsoft.
They've done a good job with that too, because the Nokia, the Lumia, is that what their phone is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's becoming that's like one of the premium phones. I mean, I think only a Microsoft phone though, a Windows phone. But the fact that I know that name means they're doing something right.
That means that it's not a tier 2 player anymore.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
they upped their tier, so to speak.
Yeah. They're a borderline 2 or 3 now.
Sorry, go ahead there.
This is
No,
it's worth
yeah,
noting.
Yeah,
that,
let's go nuts. Go ahead.
It's worth noting that Microsoft is a U.S. company, and we can't really say this is we can't blame this on the economy anymore, because I think we're down to the lowest unemployment in the last 6 years. We've been adding almost 300,000 jobs a month, so the U.S. economy is going this way, and Microsoft is downside. Just in terms of jobs. I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but
see, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, but I think this was kind of what you guys were saying earlier was always the plan.
Yeah.
They didn't care. People are oh, they're getting rid of all these people. Not really. They just bought all these people not too long ago. Now they have the tech, and they're gonna get rid of a majority of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure if there's a couple superstars, they'll be happy to keep them on board.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. I think back to when, for example, GameStop merged with EB.
Straight up bought that shit.
Yeah,
they closed some of the stores.
They more or less pushed out all the EB people and replaced them with GameStop people. It happens. It happens. When one company purchases another, it's to be expected that you're going to push out the old and replace it with something that's more familiar and more integrated into your business model.
Yeah. Well, I was, looking on the interwebs, of course, to laugh at the stupidity of people in the comment sections.
Reddit?
No. Reddit's actually a pretty intelligent community as far as internet communities go.
Well, I'm saying they get a
I think
little off the
intelligent
walls.
might not be the best word to use.
As far as internet, I had that suffix on it. As far as internet communities
I
go.
don't even know if that's fair to you. I mean, I don't know.
Reddit's the smartest community I'm a part of on the internet.
Oh man, I don't. It's too
Like
big
for-
to be. It's too big
For
to
a
be
message
given
board. It depends on what subreddits you're in. There's like ridiculous political like
Yeah,
discussions going
Reddit's
on.
like what
Extremely
the top 10
in depth.
largest websites online.
Is it really?
Maybe not top 10, probably top 100 for sure though.
Oh yeah.
It's like I think there's a smarter audience on Google.
Like there's
No,
some
no, 'cause
dumb.
you have to count
'cause
YouTube into that.
I'm thinking.
And
I'm
YouTube people are stupid.
I'm thinking
they are.
YouTube is the biggest cesspool on the internet.
More than my 4chan.
For
They're
yes,
just funny.
Some might argue 4chan is the most intelligent group of people.
I don't know. I'm on 4chan a lot too. That shit's like just
It
weird.
depends on which
Subreddit you're under? Yeah.
or so-
Some champ.
Subchan, whatever the fuck they're called.
Anyways,
Okay.
back to the topic at hand. Microsoft, Nokia.
No, I'm just thinking of all the really dumb shit I've read on Reddit. And I'm like, yeah, there are a lot of dumb shit on Reddit. There's an awful lot of
There
dumb
are a
shit.
lot of dumb shit.
There's a
on
lot of dumb shit on Reddit. That's what I meant to say.
improper grammar.
Yeah.
usage, too.
But there's a lot of really good
There are a lot of
conversation.
dumb shit.
There's a lot of dumb shit.
There are a lot of dumb
There
shit.
are bees, lots of dumb shits.
Now you're Swedish.
No, I'm just pluralizing stuff that needs no pluralization. Good sir. So Microsoft. Something about 14%. I'm totally out of this now. I'm thinking Reddit
Is there any
stuff.
follow-up you have to this?
Like I was saying, everybody kind of you kind of knew that they were going after Nokia just to acquire the technology. They didn't want the business end of it. But I think the bigger shock is that they closed down the Xbox Entertainment Studio. Now, to clarify what that is, so people aren't like, going
canceled
shit,
Xbox.
oh my God, close down Xbox. This is the TV studio that they were building.
People were freaking out on IGN.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god, does this mean my Xbox is never going to get another game? What?
yeah. No, this is the
What?
TV studio that Microsoft was developing for Xbox
What?
TV and all that crap.
Whoop.
Now, Halo Nightfall with Steven Spielberg is still in production,
Steven Spielberg.
and Quantum Break is still going.
Whoop.
I find this funny because right the week or two before E3, they had that big thing talking about Xbox Entertainment and how they were developing a Gears of War TV show, a Fable TV show, and all this other stuff, and now it's all gone.
Whoop.
I think gamers are. I don't know what gamers think. What do gamers think? Are they happy because they don't like every time Microsoft talks about this stuff, nobody cares.
Gamers are not happy, and it's
they're not
because
never happy.
You guys
because
are not happy.
gamers are never happy with anything ever.
Well, sometimes gamers cheer for failure.
Yeah, they boo the free games that come out every month. They're upset
Microsoft.
from both
Oh.
places. They boo new trailers. They boo new releases.
Okay, you're
they
being
boo
too vague here. But I'm talking about like
no,
specific
they-
Microsoft.
specifically
Entertainment.
everything. Every game, there's people bitching. I'm serious.
Specifically, everything.
Everything, dude. And there's like the dumbest shit will come out. There was this thing where somebody took 2 screenshots on a PC, and then they put the watermark of the Xbox on one and the PS4 on the other, and they started this big, crazy, long debate. And at the end, he admitted that they're like, "No, this one looks better. No, this one looks better," and everybody's just
They were the
killing
same
each other.
image.
And it neither was an Xbox or a PlayStation. They were both identical pictures from a PC.
Okay.
And people are just killing it. That's what I'm saying. They're never happy. Nobody ever is just like, no, they both look pretty good. Not one person said that.
You know, I think these people bitching at each other. I think you bitching about them bitching at each other is more bitchy.
And I think you pointing out the fact that you think it's more bitchy of me to point out that they're bitching about bitching
Quit being
is
a
even
bitch.
more bitchy.
You bitch.
I'm just saying.
So,
And you know what's even the bitchiest of all? When Jason walks away, being a little bitch from our conversation about bitches.
I think we're done.
So anyway, it's time to talk with Tony on the couch. There was a lot of alliteration until I got to that couch word. It was good stuff. What are you doing? Why are you playing with stuff? Are you zooming in? Is that what you're trying to do? But you supposedly left. That kind of screwed everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get up close and personal with your main man, Tony. We're going to be talking about bitches being bitches and all types of bitchy stuff. I don't know. Well, I suppose that's it. This has been episode 127? 7. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place. Not the same place. Gonna be at Moss's house. Gonna be farting on his pillows. Because he's not gonna... He's gonna be like, oh, what's the smell? It's gonna be Tony farts on his pillows. Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Who's the bitch now? Who's the bitchy bitch now? That's right. Hi, Moss. Hey, that's good.